Hello everyone, I promised you a new snake and here's a new snake. So I'm actually reducing my collection. All the non-venomous snakes are gone. The corn snakes and the ball pythons are sold. But I ended up adding one more venomous to the collection, and it is this beautiful snake. And this is a T. insularis from Wetar Island. So it's a Wetar Island Pit Viper. And as you can see, it's living in a very tiny plastic container right now with some perches and fake plants and water, etc. And I bought her as self-feeding, but she hasn't fed in my care yet, voluntarily at least. I force-fed her some pinky heads, and I will try pinkies today. If they don't work, I will again force feed her some pinky heads and see if she likes them or not. But we are hoping for a voluntary feeding response, obviously. So I'm just gonna zoom in so you guys see this beauty close by. Yeah, unlike their cousins from the other islands, the insularis is yellow, as you can see. It's a very beautiful snake, and hopefully she will get to feeding soon. I keep her in this box without any additional heat. That was the advice of my good friend Al, to keep them, you know, at a reasonable room temperature range. And I have actually got these pinkies really nice and warm. As these are pit vipers, warmth is always appreciated. And she is aware of the mouse, as she's tongue flicking a little bit and moving, but we don't get to see a strike, and that usually means that we won't get to see a strike. Yeah, she's getting away from the mouse, unfortunately. Okay. I have another one, maybe that smells better. So let's try that one. Nope, seems like we don't have luck. Again, it seems like this is going to be an assist feeding today. Okay, so this is something different that I'm trying. today, so I left these animals next to her, the two pinkies. Let's see if she's gonna show them any interest at all. Or if she's just gonna ignore the presence of two dead rodents next to her, which is the most likely scenario out of this. So in the meantime, since there's nothing happening, let me give you a little bit of information. So as I said, this is a Trimerosaurus insularis. It comes from the Wetar Island in Indonesia, and Trimerosaurus is basically a genus of pit vipers found through Asia, from India to Southeast Asia to China to the Pacific Islands. There's a lot of species. I think there are in total 35 species, and they're, you know, relatively small and definitely arboreal animals. They like to stay above ground, and they also have nice thin prehensile tails, which helps them to easily attach to surfaces. Okay, that pinky seems like it's gonna fall down now, which is fine. Let's see if I'm quick enough to get it before it falls down. Alright. Yeah. So you would normally see this species, several species from this genus as green animals, but the ones that come from the Wetar Island, this insularis species, are yellow. So they normally eat rodents when they are a reasonable size, and they usually eat lizards to start their life with. But unfortunately I don't have a supply of lizard feeders, so I cannot provide that to this animal. And that's why I definitely wanted to get a self-feeding animal, but you never know what you buy, and you only understand the full concept when you come home and try to feed the animal and take care of them. So the venom for these are primarily hemotoxic. So hemotoxins basically disrupt blood clotting, and they can cause organ degeneration and tissue damage. And this species has a medically significant venom, so obviously it's good not to get bitten by these. As I said, these are pit vipers, so they have heat sensing pits, and they can easily sense you in full dark, and if they mistake you for prey and you get a feeding bite out of them, it would definitely be unpleasant. Alright, so we're not getting what we want from this baby, so we will do the assist feeding, and I'll try to show that to you guys too. Alright everybody, we have the pinkies ready. Again, this is a dangerous procedure which requires expertise, so please do not try this, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So as you can see, we have the little snaky on his little branch, and you can probably appreciate how tiny it is. So we need to get her off the branch to be able to work. Okay, that's good enough. Now what we need to do is obviously don't allow the snake to escape. And just, we need to restrain her. And this snake being very tiny, I'm super careful not to injure it. And as you can see, it has energy from my previous feeding attempt, so that's good. Alright, as you can see, I hope you can see, I have immobilized the snake. I am not the most experienced assist feeder, to tell you the truth. I do not like the process. So let's use this little stick to push the mouse in there. Alright. Now that was fine. And that should be enough for the snake to eat. Let's get her back. Alright, as you can see, the pinky is a little deeper in now. And she will start to swallow it, hopefully, and we can get going. We can basically get going with our lives. I have more snakes to feed, and I do not like the risk of having snake fangs next to my finger, especially with snakes that I can hardly control. I really do not like assist feeding. It's a procedure that I try to avoid. And it looks like we managed it this time. As you can see, she's swallowing the pinky head. Obviously, we don't want the snake to expend more energy than it would get from a tiny pinky head. So we gotta be, really careful. I think it's always good to use a little more force and do this properly in the first attempt instead of doing multiple attempts like I just did. But we are doing fine, and she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. Obviously my hope was that she would do this by herself. Again, I cannot tell you how pissed I am to end up with a snake that does not eat. This last happened to me with one of my Sydney red death adders a long time ago, and that snake is now wonderful and doing great, but I do not like this procedure, especially with tiny little snakes like these, where your finger can get easily punctured or you can easily injure the snake. And neither of these is something that we want. Okay, let's see if she's gonna be able to swallow that little piece of pinky on top of her head. It was attached to the pinky head, flap of skin. But it seems like it got stuck to her head in the process. So the good thing is she definitely did eat last time I did this and passed through and defecated, so the process is working and she's nice and active and all that. But again, this is not something that we want to do very often. Okay, I think this is it, guys. Ah, she is also getting that little piece of skin, so that's nice. That's perfect. In the meantime, in the background, you can see our Samar Cobra having fun. So this is something really quick to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching her, and I will definitely have more footage of her in the future, especially when she's eating by herself. Right, bye.